Hello everyone, welcome back to our educational program. My name is Ms. Leila. Today we are going to discuss Unit 12 of Grade 7. So let's begin. We have the title of Unit 12 here it is Predicting the Future. So this is episode 21. We are going to discuss vocabulary words of this unit only. So now we have a sentence here, the beginning of our lesson. My mom watches the weather forecast every morning. So do your parents do that too? I hope they, I bet they do. The weather on Sunday is wet and stormy, but Monday is going to be less rainy. Look at the picture and describe the weather. So number one, we can see that there is a cloud with some snow. So it is snowy and cold. Number two, we can see that the tree is moving toward the left side and that is, it is windy and stormy. Okay, for picture number three, what can you see in the picture? I see a cloud with some drops of rain, so it is rainy. Number four, we see that the sun is shining. So we're gonna guess it is sunny and hot. How about for picture number five? We have a cloud with some lightning. So it is lightning or stormy. Number six, we have only just a cloud. So we're gonna say here it is clear and warm. So the weather is nice. So for this unit, we have three themes. Theme number one or topic number one, that is predicting the future. Number two, climate change. Number three, the future world. So let's begin with vocabulary words of predicting the future. That is topic number one. We have the first word here, that is the word prominent. So repeat after me. Prominent. Prominent. What part of speech is prominent? It's an adjective. Excellent. So let's read the example so we can understand the meaning of prominent. So Dr. Saleh Al-Ujairi is a prominent figure in Kuwait. He is known as an excellent Kuwaiti astronomer. So prominent here means important or famous. Moving on to the next word, we have the word publication. So repeat after me. Publication. Publication. What part of speech is publication? It's a noun. Good job. Let's look at the example. The famous astronomer Dr. Saleh Al-Ujairi had many publications such as office diaries. As you can see in the picture, you may guess that publication here is the preparation and issues of a book or a journal. Next, we have the word calendar. So repeat after me. Calendar. Calendar. What part of speech is calendar? It's a noun. Let's look at the example and pay attention to the picture. I got my 2020 calendar from the bookstore at the beginning of the year. So a calendar here is a chart showing the days, weeks, and months of a year. Moving on to the next word, we have the word honor. So repeat after me. Honor. Honor. What part of speech is honor? It's a verb. Good. What is the past form of honor? It's honored. Adding ed. So let's read the example. My favorite teacher was honored by our principal with a bouquet of flowers and a certificate. As you can see in the picture, this is honored by the principal to the teacher. So, to regard or treat someone with admiration and respect. Next, we have the word reward. So, repeat after me. Reward. Reward. What part of speech is reward? It's a verb. Excellent. The past form of reward is rewarded. So, what part of speech is reward? We said it's a verb. Let's use it in a sentence. The art gallery will reward my sister with money and a trophy. So as you see in the picture, he is holding a reward, meaning here a reward here is to give a prize. It's a verb, to give a prize. Now we're gonna move on to the second topic, and that is climate change. With the first vocabulary word here, we have the vocabulary word of idiom. So repeat after me, idiom. Idiom. So what part of speech is idiom? It's a noun. Pay attention here. Maybe you would be a bit confused by what do I mean by the word idiom. So we have, let's read the example. There is a famous idiom that my mother keeps telling me. Try to see the light. Meaning to look at the positive side. So try to see the light is an idiom or a phrase. An idiom is a phrase that typically presents a figurative, non-literal meaning attached to the phrase. So it's essentially just a phrase. For example, we have common English idioms like bad apple, meaning a troublemaker, and so on. Now, moving on to the next word, we have the word heavily. So repeat after me, heavily. Heavily. What part of speech is heavily? It's an adverb. Excellent. So let's put it in a sentence. It was raining heavily yesterday, but today it's sunny. So as you can see in the picture, it's raining very heavily. So meaning to a great degree. Moving on to the next word, we have the word degree. So repeat after me, degree. Degree. What part of speech is degree? It's a noun. Good. Let's read the example. The weather forecast said that Thursday will hit 50 degrees. It is going to be hot. So as you can see in the picture, we have a thermometer, is a scale for the degrees of the weather. So degree here is a unit in any of the various scales of temperature. Now moving on to the second word, that is the word prediction. Repeat after me. Prediction. Prediction. What part of speech is prediction? It's a noun. Good. Let's use it in a sentence. The prediction that was made about the weather last week is right. It is getting cooler nowadays. So, what do I mean by the word prediction? It means a good guess. Moving on to the next word, we have the word forecast. So repeat after me. Forecast. Forecast. What part of speech is forecast? It's a noun. Excellent. So let's use it in a sentence. The weather forecast says it will rain tomorrow. So a forecast here is a prediction or a good guess. Next we have the word polar. So repeat after me. Polar. Polar. What part of speech? Excellent. It's a noun. Let's use it in a sentence. The ice in the polar ice caps, and in glaciers is turning into water. So, what do I mean by the word polar? So polar here is anything related to the north or south pole or the areas around them. So the north and the south pole, the cold areas of the earth. Next we have the word ice cap. So repeat after me. Ice cap. Ice cap. What part of speech? It's a noun. Excellent. Let's read the example. Do you know that 95% of Antarctica is covered by ice caps? So ice caps here means, or an ice cap is a thick cover of ice over an area, sloping in all directions from the center. As you can see in the picture, this is an ice cap. Moving on to the next word, we have the word coast. So repeat after me. Coast. Coast. What part of speech? It's a noun. Good. So let's read the example. The boat sailed down the coast. So what do I mean by the word coast? As you can see in the picture, that is a coast. So coast here is a land next to the sea or the seashore. Next we have the word enormous. So repeat after me. Enormous. Enormous. What part of speech? It's an adjective. Excellent. Let's use it in a sentence. They cut enormous blocks of stones or stone out of the hillside to build the wall. So they cut enormous blocks of stone. Enormous here means very or great in size, or great in number or degree. Now we have the next word, and that is the word rise. So repeat after me. Rise. Rise. What part of speech is rise? It's a verb. Excellent. Let's use it in a sentence. The world's climate is changing. The temperature may rise by 6 degrees over the next 100 years. So what do I mean by the word rise? As you can see in the picture, there is an arrow up, going upwards. So it means to increase in size or volume or level. Moving on to the next word, we have the word homeless. So repeat after me. Homeless. Homeless. What part of speech is homeless? It's an adjective. Excellent. Let's use it in a sentence. The earthquake left thousands of people homeless. As you can see in the picture, people do not have their homes. They are living in the streets. They do not have any homes. So homeless here means having no home. Now we're gonna move on to the vocabulary words of this, the last topic of the unit, and that is the topic of the future world, beginning with the first word, and that is the word download. So repeat after me. Download. Download. What part of speech is download? It's a verb. Good. So I bet you know what we mean by the word download, since this generation is all about technology. Let's just read the example. You can download a copy of the English book form in the school website. So what do I mean by the word download? To move information or programs from a computer network to a small computer. Moving on to the next word, we have the word recall. So repeat after me. Recall. Recall. What part of speech is recall? It's a verb. Good. Let's read the example. I can recall people's faces but not their names. So what do I mean by the word recall? It's to remember, to ask or order. Recall essentially means to remember. Next we have the word disaster. So repeat after me. Disaster. Disaster. What part of speech is disaster? It's a noun. Good. So let's read the example. The disaster killed more than 200 people. So what do I mean by the word disaster? As you can see in the picture, that is a disaster happening. So a disaster here is a sudden accident that causes great damage or loss of life. Next we have the word hurricane. So repeat after me. Hurricane. Hurricane. What part of speech is hurricane? It's a noun. Good. Let's look at the example. The roof of their house was destroyed during a hurricane. So as you can see in the picture, it's a very strong wind that has a circular movement. So very strong stormy wind that can destroy houses. Now we just ended the vocabulary words of Unit 12. We summarized all the words here in the chart from nouns, verbs, adverbs, and adjectives. Now it's time to practice. A. From A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answer. We have number 1. My father uses A to remind him with the important meetings. So, is it A. prediction, B. calendar, C. idiom, or D. environment? Good job. It's B. calendar. So, my father uses a calendar to remind him with the important meetings. Number 2, I always many video clips from the YouTube. So I always, we have keywords here, we have video clips from YouTube. So is it A. download, B. honor, C. reward, or D, recall? Excellent. So it's A, download. I always download many video clips from the YouTube. Number 3, in some parts of the world, the temperature goes 6 below 0. So we have 6, we have temperature, we have 6. So these are some kind of keywords we have, like, so what is the suitable word? Is it A, predictions, or B, calendars, or D, C, degrees, or D, disasters? Excellent, it's C, degrees. So in some parts of the world, the temperature goes 6 degrees below 0. So it's very cold. Number 4, Kuwaiti people always their guests at their homes. So is it A, download, B, honor, C, reward, or D, recall? Of course, the answer here it's going to be B, honor. So Kuwaiti people always honor their guests at their homes. Now we just ended the episode, and I hope you enjoyed a lot and learned a lot, and thank you for watching.